Hi, my name is Dreama Bryant Rivas. This is my interpersonal communication plan video for HSCO508 with Dr. Carol Staley Abney, and today is August the 20th, 2021. For this communication plan, I wanted to learn how to use my personality, which is the SC on the disc, and my healthy communication skills to help and provide counsel for single mothers with children and immigrant families. So as I said, my personality is the SC, and my behavioral blend and background. Some of my strengths are I love spending time with people in one-on-one settings and in small groups. I'm a great team player, a loyal follower. I enjoy peace, and I work very hard to keep peace with my friends and my family and people around me. I believe I am a great team player and loyal follower, and according to Mel's Carbonell 2008, I look for opportunities, and sometimes I volunteer to do whatever is necessary to show others how much I care. Some of my weaknesses in my personality are I see things in black and white. That can make me very inflexible, very rigid. Sometimes I feel like I don't give a lot of sway or flexibility to people or even myself. I hold people to almost impossible standards. Schultz and Basinski made the point that if we do not have gratitude in our hearts, our personal communication will hurt the relationships we have around us, and we will tend to expect more from others than we offer ourselves, and that was in 2015. Another weakness I have is confronting problems with people is very difficult for me. I have a hard time with that. I don't like to do it. And I tend to keep my negative emotions bottled up, and a lot of times that will explode at one time or another and cause a lot of problems. Some of my communication barriers, I struggle with revealing my deep emotions. Facts are easier for me to talk about than my feelings, and I refrain from sharing my personal thoughts, wants, and needs, and just a lot of times expect people to already know what I want and I need, and if they don't follow through, then that frustrates me. With my head talk feelings, I feel that those are safe because most of the facts I would share, I do not produce on my own. So if someone disagrees, then they are not disagreeing with me personally. Because my personality style, I never want to cause friction, so I refrain from sharing my personal thoughts, wants, or needs. And according to Carbonell 2008, sometimes I tend to be overly passive as opposed to being active and extroverted. And so in my passivity, I don't share a lot of what I personally think because I don't want to rock the boat or cause any type of problems. Some other communication barriers that I have, I enjoy problem solving for people. Solving everyone's problems makes me feel as if I can make an impact in someone's life by helping them. Many times I probably overstep my boundaries often because I view my role as the helper and the peacemaker from the SC. I feel like it's my responsibility to help. Oftentimes I find myself paying more attention to the problem than what someone's actually telling me, like in a conversation. If they're telling me about an issue, I find myself just thinking ahead and trying to solve the problem without actually focusing all my attention on what that person is telling me. As a counselor, when I become a counselor, when counselors take responsibility from the client, when the client is struggling with a problem, we are suggesting that they are incapable of handling their own problems, and that comes from Peterson 2015. And another barrier that I have is I overstep boundaries by viewing myself as a peacemaker. Oftentimes I find myself paying more attention to the problem than what someone's telling me. I said that before. And I can do harm by trying to fix everyone and taking the responsibility away from people because I try to help them so much. Some of these goals that I have for my project is to provide counsel and help for single mothers, and families in the immigration process. My husband's going through that right now, and so I'm seeing how much help and counsel these people need. And so this has really motivated me to want to provide that for these families. And another goal is to get better at sharing my emotions when appropriate and not trying to fix everyone's problems. That one really stood out to me. I never realized that it could be hurtful until this class. Some of my strategies are to empower clients to work through their problems and come to their own conclusions through a patient-centered approach, and that's Harkey et al. 2017. That was a journal article I found. And according to their journal article, it's called Where They Are, an important facet of a patient-centered approach is meeting people where they are, that is within the context of their current life and health status with no preconceived judgment. Another strategy is to learn how to use my heart talk more easily with clients, families, and friends. As Christian counselors, we are to sit and actively listen to a client and offer biblical advice based on discernment and not just emotions because we are wanting to help them. And when it comes to dealing with people in communication, especially people who are in need, I will need to be able to use my heart talk very easily. And the heart talk is not just the head, not just the stomach, but the deep emotions that I feel, and that's sometimes quite hard for me. Another strategy is to learn how to articulate the way I feel in all areas of my life, personal and professional. And also to actively listen to a client and offer biblically based advice based on discernment. How I will implement this, I need to provide clients an atmosphere where they can safely process their own thoughts and feelings and come up with their own solutions, and that was by Peterson 2015. Another way I could implement this is a strategy that he had in his book where it said to put my hand over my mouth while resting my elbow on a table in order to keep my mouth shut while someone is figuring out the answers to their own problems, and that will help me listen intently to the client and remind me not to butt in or jump in and offer my own thoughts and feelings, even though I may want to, because that's just how I operate. But it's important for the client to be able to process everything that they need to process. That way they can come up with their own solutions to their problems. Some other implementations are I need my heart, stomach, and head talk to function freely to have the healthiest communication. As we learned in the Peterson text, we are learning that the most fruitful and healthy communication is when those three are functioning all together. I also need to learn not to be so sensitive and private, so I can find it easier to share my personal feelings and not just facts that I learn, but it's important for me to be able to share my emotions with my clients and things that I have learned and gone through in my own life. And I also need to build a strong therapeutic alliance with each of the clients I work with in the future. And according to an article in the Community Mental Health Journal from 2013, a strong therapeutic alliance has been shown to improve mental health outcome in adults. And my conclusion is, by empowering clients and sharing my feelings and life experiences, I can show love and care to single mothers and immigrant families. I will empower them to problem solve on their own and will listen and not overstep my boundaries as their counselor. And I will love and care for every person that I come in contact with in my counseling office and I am helping. And that is it. Thank you very much.